everyone, Allie Martin, visibility expert here. I am going to be sharing with you everything about my first virtual event. So if you are looking to host a virtual event for your business soon, you won't want to miss this video. All right, so let's jump right into my first virtual event. It was called the VIP Effect, and it was focused around growing visibility for female business owners. It was a 3-day event, a Tuesday, Wednesday, and a Thursday, and I sold tickets for this conference for $17. Now, I want to explain why I sold tickets, because a lot of people assume that with virtual events, they just need to give away tickets for free. And I've definitely seen a lot of great virtual events done that way. However, I really wanted these ladies to have some skin in the game. So, if you think about it, $17 is a very low barrier to entry. But if you pay $17 for something, you aren't going to be as likely to just blow it off or skip it. If you're paying that money to be there and attend, you are going to show up. So I definitely, feel like $17 was a good price point. It allowed me, I actually was planning to run ads for this event, and I'll share more about why I didn't later, but that I felt like $17 was going to be able to cover that ad price while I was still able to be bringing in a little bit to kind of cover that. So $17 was the ticket price. I had a goal of having 50 people purchase tickets to the event. And by the time the event was over, I had 103 people registered to the event. And I actually had a couple people that told their friends during the event. And so their friends purchased tickets about halfway through. I actually had one person that purchased a ticket even after the event was completely over. She just purchased a ticket because she had heard great things about it, and she wanted a chance to watch the recordings for the 7 days that they were up in the Facebook group after the event. So I did sell a bump to the order where people could purchase the recordings for an additional 6 months. And I did have a few people take me up on that, but I was really blown away. I cannot reiterate enough by the number of people that registered for this event. So that just is something that I want to continue to celebrate, because I really had just only planned on shooting for that goal of 50. I had trainings, again, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, for about 2 hours every day. And the topics ranged everywhere from kind of really setting your goals for the year, your intention, and where you wanted your business to go, time management, social media, podcasting, using your voice, graphic design, and public relations. And these were all strategically picked based off of the goal of really wanting to increase your visibility. And I used a lot of former and current clients and then others, experts that I've worked with, to really share these messages, because I felt like that was going to be the best representation of what it is to work with Fame and Fortune, my business. So, those all went off without a hitch. Every speaker was phenomenal. I loved all the nuggets that each speaker was able to give, and I really feel like the attendees resonated with that. I had about 30 to 40 people join live every day. So we actually had quite a few people that would watch on the replay. So we utilized the Facebook group to share the replays at the end of each day, and had quite a few people that would watch it there and then just leave a comment that they were watching it on the replay. So it was great that we had that option. I actually didn't think as many people were going to use the replay option as they did. And as I mentioned, we left the recordings up for about 7 days, and we had people watching them up until that 7th day. So definitely it was good to kind of push them to say, like, these aren't going to be here forever. And giving them that deadline, that timeline that they had to review those. The Facebook group was also great to recap some of the conversations. People were dropping gifts in there of things that the speakers, that reminded them of the speakers and the conversations we were having. And it was a great way for people to connect as well. They were definitely, becoming friends and connecting with like-minded ladies there as well. I did push everyone to attend a bonus training, which happened on the 4th day, which was Friday. So this was a day that was not marketed in the original 3-day conference. It was not discussed until the actual conference started. And the reason why is because I was sharing how I got to multiple 6 figures in my business during this training. And I realized this topic is not for everyone, and it can actually be detrimental for some people to hear that if they're not in the right frame of mind. So it is framed as a bonus training and something that they can choose to apply to attend. And then based off of their responses, we had about 30 people that were accepted and attended that training. During that training, I did share my journey in my business, and then also announced my group coaching program, the brand new group coaching program called the VIP Accelerator. And from that, we had about 7 ladies that joined us in this program. So overall, a really great success of journey from kind of that first day on Tuesday through that Friday bonus training session of ladies that stayed engaged and were really eager for this information. And I will say I have some pros and cons. Some pros were that I got great feedback. I feel like I was very thoughtful in the decision of the topics that I chose, and I was able to kind of really give people a wide range of options as far as growing their visibility and giving them actual tactics that they could use and go do and create results from that. I love the engagement. People were opening the email rates were 75-80% during this training, which I know is unheard of. And we had really great engagement in the Facebook group, and great engagement in the chat. Man, the chat was on fire, which I loved that. Cons, it's a lot of work. I think anybody out there that you talk to about hosting a virtual event, it's a lot of work. And I will be honest, on the very first day of the conference, I just took a moment and I said, I cannot tell you all how many times I wanted to give up. Cannot tell you how many times I thought to myself, this is way too much work. And if you remember, I said it was the very first week of January. So I was doing a lot of this work during the holidays, during this time when most people took off work. And I was, trying to kind of send things to my speakers, and I was getting their out of office, rightfully so. And, it kind of just made me think, I wish I was out of office right now too. So no matter what time of the year, I don't know that you're going to find a really good time of the year to do an event like this, but I will definitely consider kind of that time frame of leading up to it, the work that's required on the back end before you get there, because that to me definitely kind of put a sour taste in my mouth and just made me want to give up. But I'm so glad I didn't. I'm so glad I didn't. And what I shared with the ladies on that first day was, if you have something on your heart, you have to go for it. Because if I'd given up thinking this is too much work, I'm not even going to get to that 50. I would have never been able to see that I was able to reach 100, over 100. You never are able to kind of see where that's going to take you. And if I'd given up on that first time, I guarantee you I wouldn't have tried a second time. It kind of would have always been in the back of my mind that would have been a goal I wasn't able to achieve. So I'm really, really proud of myself for continuing to go through it. And I'm really grateful for my team to support me in getting there, because having them helping me along the way was invaluable and allowed me to kind of keep that energy up and keep driving towards that end goal. And I will say, I had a lot of people that gave me the feedback that they loved that it was the first week of the year. I will say on the flip side, I think it was also a really hard week for a lot of people, and maybe they are so inundated with work and other responsibilities that they weren't even able to give me that feedback. But I did hear from quite a few people that were wanting to be at the event but couldn't, and they would either watch it on the replay or they completely missed out on either the replay or it live, because that first week back in the new year, can be wild for some people, specifically if they did take off those 2 weeks before. So I definitely think it was good because a lot of people really liked that fresh start, that reset, that ability to set goals and work towards them. But I do think there is a lot to be said about that timing, that time of the year, and maybe figuring out some different timing there could work out better. But again, I really don't know that there's ever an ideal time, a perfect time for everyone. There's always going to be conflicts. And so, that's just how it works out. I did say I didn't run ads to this event. So I had initially planned to run ads to this event, but then the registration just took off. And I really kind of thought, well, let me see how far I can go with just this organic audience before I run ads. And I know notoriously during the holidays, ad prices are sky high. So I just kind of was waiting. And before I knew it, it was a week before the event and I was already way past my goal. And it was kind of one of those things of like, why do I need to do it now? So I really liked that because I invited all of my audience. I asked the speakers to invite some of their audience. And together I felt like we had a really good group of people that I felt like were in my circle or just one step outside of my circle because they were either customers, clients, or friends of the speakers. So I just felt like it was a really intimate group and I didn't feel like anybody kind of felt like outsiders. Everybody felt like they were comfortable sharing vulnerabilities in the chat, in the Facebook group. And it just felt like a really warm, good group of people. There's really no other way to describe that. So I hope this is helpful for you. I know being that it was my first virtual event, I've helped others with their virtual events and been able to kind of see through some of those hurdles that they've encountered and kind of tips and tricks along the way. And so I wanted to share this information in case you are in the same boat and you're wanting to host a virtual event one day. Maybe you can learn from some of the things that I encountered. So if this is helpful for you, please drop a comment below and let me know. And then I would also love for you to subscribe so that you can hear more from me down the road. But that's all for today. Thanks so much. Talk to you later. Bye.